Hi, I'm Michael. Today we're looking at how to help your Year 2 or 3 child who has dyslexia and how to help them do better with their written skills and their spelling skills. In the last couple of years, I've probably helped 150 students of about this age get back on track with their written skills. And as well as that, I was teaching Year 2s for about 5 years. And I want to show you the things that I've seen work really well, especially for children who have dyslexia. Now, it's important to prioritise, because if your child's in Year 2 or 3 but they're still struggling with their reading, that's where we've got to start. Once your child has the basics of reading, then you can start looking at how they write sentences. And then once they're writing sentences confidently, then start looking at spelling. There's no point looking at spelling if they can't read well and if they can't write sentences. Also, there's another video worth watching, and that's the one on how to help your child of any age get back on track with their writing. Now, the main goal is getting your child writing in sentences that have capital letters and full stops. Once they've got that, then the goal is to help your child write in longer sentences that are correctly punctuated. A lot of children who have dyslexia find it exhausting to write because they can't keep track of what they were going to write. So it can really help to have you write dot points of what your child is going to write. And that way, once they know what the dot points are, they can just start to write them. Make it fun, especially if you've got a young man there. He wants to write about silly things. To him, that's fun. So if he's writing about a hamburger that explodes and it kills a dog and ridiculous stuff like that, go for it. It'll keep him motivated. The goal here is not to make sensible children. Our goal here is to make children who can read and write well. Ask your child if he or she wants a pencil grip. Pencil grips cost about $3 on eBay, and they can be really motivating for children. It's just a gimmick, but it works. Now, with punctuating their sentences, your child is not going to be excited about getting a whole lot of feedback about how to punctuate better. So let's not demoralise our children by focusing on the details. Let's just try to get them writing sentences, capital letters, full stops. Don't worry about commas, don't worry about exclamation marks or speech marks. Keep the main thing the main thing. We need to reduce our children's dependence on the word and. A lot of children in Year 2 or 3, particularly if they're struggling with their learning, they're writing the word and instead of using correct punctuation. So they're writing, I went to the shops and I saw Sally and there was a red car and I saw a dog. And what they're doing is they're replacing the need to use proper punctuation with the word and. We need to steer away from that. As well as that, we need to help our children write in complex sentence structures. Basically, where you've got a long sentence and this part of the sentence is dependent on this part of the sentence. So writing, I went to the shops because I wanted milk is a complex sentence. It's a good, healthy sentence. The next step beyond that is to have our child write, I went to the shops because I wanted milk so I could have breakfast. As your child gets older, they're going to need to write more and more complex sentences. So we can deliberately train your child by training them to use words like because, with, so, after, or without. I went to the shops with my friend so I could buy milk because it was breakfast time. Do you see how that is a much healthier sentence than I went to the shops, I went with my friend, we bought milk? Do you see the difference? That's where we're trying to take our child. Now, wherever possible, we want learning to feel like a game. Your child is motivated by games, they're not motivated by writing. So don't talk to them about writing, talk to them about writing games. Now, a fun game to play is to give your child 3 or 4 words that shouldn't really be in the same sentence. Things like a spaceship and a lion and a pizza, and we want our child to put them all in the same sentence without using the word and. So your child might write, the spaceship landed on the lion while it was eating a pizza. That's a good complex sentence. And then you can take it to the next level by adding another word that really shouldn't be in that sentence either. Something like, the spaceship crashed into the submarine where the lion was sitting eating a pizza. And then after your child has written that sentence, expect them to be a bit tired, expect them to feel a bit drained, and give them a break by having them draw a picture that goes with it. Stories are fun and stories are easy for children, and you can help them out by coming up with dot points with them of where their story is going. Now, a lot of children are actually as surprised by the ending of their own stories as you and I are, because they don't really know where their story is going. They're just writing sentence by sentence, thinking, I wonder how I'm going to end this story. So it's helpful for you as an adult to sit down with your child and help them plan where their story is going That way they can focus on the writing without having to take half their attention over to the imagining of how this story ends. Now, I want to tell you something else that will work really well for most children who have dyslexia, and that's because we're only requiring a short amount of writing from them. Have your child write postcards to relatives. Go to the newsagent, buy a whole heap of postcards, they don't cost much, and then each week have your child send a postcard to a relative. It's undemanding to have a child writing the 2 or 3 sentences that fit on a postcard, so it's perfect for a child who has dyslexia. When your child has written on that postcard, do not require them to correct their punctuation. That is missing the point. The point was to have them enjoy a writing experience and send it off and feel the success of having that relative respond positively to what they sent. Ideally, we want that relative to send something back to them. Grandparents are good, aunts and uncles are good. Word of caution with grandparents is make sure they understand what the goal is. I heard about a set of grandparents who corrected their child's spelling and then sent it back. It was demoralising for the child. They just missed the point. Make sure the relatives know that the point is to have your child enjoy writing and to feel encouraged. Display your child's work. A child who has dyslexia is accustomed to feeling like a failure every time they write. So when your child has done some work that they feel a bit proud of and they feel a bit successful with, display that work. Get it up on a wall or get it on a Facebook page or post it to someone. Get that work out there so your child can feel the success of, oh, my work is okay. I'm doing okay here. It'll counterbalance all those years of negative experiences they had every time they went to do some writing. Now, we can't just write stories forever. As your child's getting into year 3, it's really important they do learn how to write something persuasive. And in helping your child to write persuasively, pick a topic that's fun. If your child likes football, have them write why football is better than netball. So with persuasive writing, choose fun topics. Things like, mum should give me more pocket money. Schools shouldn't have homework. They need PlayStations at school. Topics like that are fun for your child. Do not have your child writing about the environment or government or something like that. They just don't care. Keep it fun and keep it real. Now, the key to helping a child who has dyslexia with persuasive writing is having that child plan out their work so they know where they're going with that paragraph. A lot of children want to sort of avoid the planning because they just want to write it and get it done and get on to something else. But that's not going to help your child. So it's in the planning stages that you can really help your child. Any attention you can take for your child off, what am I going to write, onto, oh, I know what to write, let me write that down, is going to help your child. When your child is just starting to write paragraphs, you give them the topic sentence. Soccer is more fun than netball. That's your topic sentence. And then help them come up with reasons why that topic sentence is true. Come up with 3 or 4 dot points of why that's true. And then have your child turn each dot point into one sentence. So if your child is arguing that soccer requires more energy than netball, then they take that dot point and they say, oh, soccer requires more energy than netball because you run a lot further. Or they somehow extrapolate on that dot point. Now, you've given your child the introductory sentence, you've given them the dot points, their job is to just turn those dot points into sentences. That's straightforward, that's easy, that's achievable, and with a bit of help and keeping them focused, they can do it. Don't worry about a concluding sentence, that's something for another day. Just get that topic sentence, get their dot points, have them write that paragraph, and then let them feel like a champion. Now let's turn our attention to spelling. Keep in mind that spelling is not the main priority. The first priority is to read well, the second priority is to write good sentences, and then after that start to think about spelling. Remember that a child will not be able to spell words unless they can easily read them. So focus the spelling and words on words that are commonly used in their own reading and writing. It's really important with spelling that we go by words that rhyme, not by topic. Now, often at school, the teacher will give your child a list of spelling words, but they're not actually rhyming words and they're not words that have the same word patterns in them. They're just sort of related words on a topic like dolphin, whale, fish, boat and ocean. That's not ideal for your child. When you're working with your child on spelling, you want to focus on words that have the same patterns within them or that rhyme. A good example of words that would be suitable for a year 2 or 3 child with dyslexia to learn how to spell would be words like fearing, tearing and bearing, because they all have the E-A-R, I-N-G in them. So say the word fearing, you might have F in black, EAR in blue, and then in red you'd have ING. And then for the word wearing, you'd have the W in black, EAR in blue, and then ING in red. Do you see how your child's now seeing these words? The colours are showing your child that words come in chunks, and you can learn to memorise the spelling of words by memorising that chunk. Well, I hope you have a lot of fun with this. If you're struggling to motivate your child, then watch the other video on motivating your child who has dyslexia to write. Remember to keep things short. It's better for your child to do 2 sessions of 7 minutes of writing than to do 1 long session of half an hour. After the first 10 minutes, their concentration span's gone and they're not really learning anything except how much they hate working with you. Keep in mind how difficult it is for a child who has dyslexia to focus on a writing task for a long period of time. Work with their concentration span, not against it. I hope you have fun with this. I hope it makes a big difference. I'm fairly confident that it will. If you have a go at these ideas and they're not working, then have a chat with your child's teacher about some other things that you could try. I know, parents, that you care about your child and you've got a brain, you know how to implement these things. Go and give it a shot. If you find something that works well, persevere. If you find something that's not working, stop it and do something different. And good luck.